girl Yana, and I'm back today with yet another video. And let me tell you, today's video is about to be a real spooky one, and that's because today we're gonna be taking a look at a compilation of really scary videos that are bound to give you full body chills. So if you guys are ready, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into it.
Burning water? You probably never thought such a thing could exist. Posted to Twitter by Manuel Lopez San Martin. The Eye of the Fire in the Gulf of Mexico was created by an underwater pipeline leak that released natural gas, which was later ignited by lightning at the surface. It's uncertain how long the gas had been leaking or what hydrocarbons are being released, but what is certain, it isn't the first. The Eye and incidents like it are just additional examples of underwater pipelines like this failing.
I think this is the first time in my life that I have seen water on fire. I had no idea something like this was even possible. So I'm guessing the pipeline that burst beneath the water leaked something that's extremely flammable, and so when it got struck by lightning, it literally just erupted in flames in the middle of the ocean. How do you even put a fire like this out? It's quite literally in water and it's still burning, so I don't think trying to pour more water on top of it would do anything. That is a real sticky situation.
This enormous pit of fire in the ocean is nothing short of terrifying, because water shouldn't be on fire.
That doesn't even look real. My brain cannot even process the fact that actual water is on fire. Truly terrifying. I cannot imagine going for a swim and seeing something like that.
Disneyland is called the happiest place on earth, but take a turn down the wrong road in Toontown and you might just find it's the scariest. Posted by TikToker MyCinema135, the scary video shows a ghost hidden in the smoke of a fireworks show at the world's most famous amusement park. Disney guests spotted the creepy phantom figure along the castle wall. The large figure appears to be dressed in white with one hand on his hip and the other raised high as if in a cheer. The brief appearance is enough to give you pause, but is it enough to prompt viewers to skip out on the Magic Kingdom? Most TikTokers are unfazed by the figure, with some saying it's a statue and others suggesting it's Walt Disney himself. One TikToker, Joshua John Norton, even has an explanation. He writes, "The cast members normally wear blackout costumes. This cast member's costume caught the light and was captured by the camera. So what do you think?"
Although it's supposed to be the happiest place on earth, it also seems to be the most haunted place on earth. There has been so many ghost sightings in this place that I would not be surprised if this was one of them. However, because the figure isn't moving, it leads me to believe that it could potentially be a statue. If it was a cast member or even a ghost, you would be able to see them moving, and that figure looked perfectly still, like literally frozen in place like a statue. So honestly, this could go either way. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is this a ghost caught on camera, or is it just a statue?
On July 3rd of 2021, a horrific mudslide hit Tatami, a Tokyo resort town in Japan, creating this frightening barrage of debris and mud. Heavy rain poured, creating a torrent of muddy water, which took out roads, houses, and pretty much everything in its wake. 20 people went missing. The flooded hillside dislodged with the water's force as well, taking buildings along with it. Days later, they remained buried beneath layers of mud. Rescue operations for those who were lost or trapped in the mud and evacuation efforts were underway. One witness of the event told broadcasting company NKH, "I heard a horrible sound and saw a mudslide floating downwards as rescue workers were urging people to evacuate, so I ran to higher ground. When I returned, houses and cars that were in front of the temple were gone." This video is just one example of the devastation done.
This video is yet another example of just how terrifying Mother Nature can be. Earthquakes, tsunamis, mudslides like this, it can literally cause mass destruction. I mean, because of this mudslide, up to 20 people went missing. Can you even imagine how terrifying that would be to experience? You just see this ginormous wave of mud coming at you and you have nowhere to run. Definitely really important in situations like this that you try to run and find higher ground so that you don't end up getting swept up in the mudslide. But I mean, just witnessing the destruction must be so horrific.
Posted to TikTok, the video shows what appears to be a slow-moving slurry of debris at first, so slow that it simply nudges a vehicle with its wipers out of the way. The vehicle manages to escape and get out of the mudflow's path seconds before the onslaught tears through, kicking the debris up with horrible fury. A house is seen collapsing amidst the mess, with mud spreading into every corner. Mudslides are not unusual for Japan's annual rainy season, which lasts from the end of May until mid-July, but few are quite as devastating as this one, which forced residents both from Atami and from nearby cities to evacuate. And the rain continues.
Did you guys see the way that house collapsed in the corner? I really truly hope no one was in that house. Dude, Mother Nature is powerful.
Posted on YouTube in May of 2021, Felicity gets more than she bargained for. She is exploring a scary rundown building on her own, testing her limits to see how far she can get. Turns out she can't get very far before this happens. Felicity aims her flashlight into one room but hears a loud bang in the next room. When she turns, she's faced with this mad psychopath. He has a creepy red face and is wearing a white robe with red marks all over it. Of course, she runs for her life, but he follows close behind.
First of all, the fact that she is exploring this place by herself is incredibly brave and also borderline crazy, because I could never. But the fact that she turned around and there was literally a crazy person chasing her, I don't know, it makes me think that this could potentially be a skit. Cause like, what the actual hell? I don't know, I could be wrong and it could have been just some lunatic hiding out in this place waiting for someone to come by. But then how do you explain the red marks all over him? I mean, it literally looks like she's walking through one of those haunted houses where people just pop out at you.
After hiding in her room, she leaves the door open a crack and asks what the man wants. No answer. When she opens it again, guess who's there waiting? As Felicity is running for her life again, she shouts at the man asking if he's alright. He heaves and roars, standing in a corner. The answer is no. Later, she captures the man seemingly sitting on the toilet. He yelps and roars again, rising to his feet. Felicity races past him and out the door. The man starts shouting at her to come here, getting angrier and angrier.
This is literally turning into a cat and mouse game with a crazy person. Clearly there's something very wrong with this guy, and whatever it is, there's no way you can help. I need to get out.
As she's trying to escape him, she trips. He takes the opportunity to grab her leg and drag her, but somehow she manages to get out of his grasp. Felicity legs it out of there, but we're left not knowing what happened to her.
Oh, no! Freaking
The screen cuts out and goes to the SMPTE color bars test pattern.
Sorry guys, I can't do it in here.
I feel like she should have just ran out of there the moment she saw him. I don't understand why she was running around the house with him. Like, you see a crazy person in there and you get the hell out. I also feel like when he grabbed her, she should have taken that opportunity and kicked him really hard in the face. Cause like, who the hell do you think you are just dragging her around like that? Absolutely not. Whether this is real or not, I'm honestly not too sure. It's definitely crazy though, I'll tell you that. If I was her, I would have been out of there immediately.
YouTuber Near Shadows provides more proof that random Randonautica is a very scary app that may just lead you into scary real-life experiences. Jeremy and Tina head into the darkness in this scary video posted June of 2021. At one point, the app takes them to a place where they become covered in ticks. Jeremy and Tina shake out their clothes, trying to remove the sucking beasts.
If I saw a single tick on me, I would be so out of there, it's actually insane. I don't know what it is, but ticks absolutely disgust me. Not to mention having a bunch crawling all over you. I would absolutely lose my mind.
They are brought to a busted up, broken down car. Jeremy says they should look in the trunk. They see if they can pop it open from the inside, but it requires a key. So unfortunately, they don't investigate further. Later, they're picking through a field trying to find evidence linked to a phone that they believed once belonged to a life taker. They come across creepy bones in the dirt. Tina notes that it's a jawbone, and judging by the pointy teeth, it's an animal jaw. Due to a small rank, they think there might be something buried in the area. While still on site, they use a spirit box to communicate with any spirits that might be hanging around here. After asking what the spirit's name is, the spirit responds that his name is Tom.
What is your name? Tom.
Is Tom the victim or the perpetrator in whatever happened here? Near Shadows can't get a straight answer out of him, so we can only guess.
I've seen quite a few Randonautica videos by now, and I think it's safe to say it is never a good idea to go wherever the app tells you to go. I feel like people always come across some really weird, messed up stuff. Clearly the app isn't random if people are always being sent to really scary and abandoned locations. There's something about that app that just does not feel right. I would personally never use it. Clearly something went on here if there was an abandoned car with all the glass completely broken. If I were them, I would definitely call the authorities and just let them know just in case. It definitely looks like something bad happened there.
Legends of a Bigfoot monster have been around before the creature even had a name. 1,000-year-old petroglyphs in California are said to depict a family of Bigfoots, including one, the largest, that local tribes called the Hairy Man. While many Bigfoot sightings have graced the internet, none is more convincing than this one published to YouTube by Graphnix in May of 2021. The crew first comes across a creepy kit that some biologists on an expedition with a company called Orchid left with their own findings. In the kit, there are Polaroids of the creature they encountered in the woods. It looks very much like a Yeti. Later, as they're investigating the woods for themselves, the crew witnesses the Yeti encounter. After locking the doors and turning out the lights, they hear a terrifying roar. A short time later, they hear a panting sound coming from outside the house through the bathroom window. When they inch to the room to investigate, this happens.
I don't see anything.
Okay, that jump scare literally made my heart stop. I feel like that definitely looks like a Yeti more so than Bigfoot. And I have to admit, I've never really been a big believer in Bigfoot. It honestly sounds kind of funny to me. So I don't know if this is just someone messing with them. Either way though, it definitely scared me.
In the Orchid container they found earlier, there was also a USB drive confirming that these extraordinary creatures are real.
So before I end the video, I'm going to play the contents of this final USB drive for you. What's on here is, well, you'll see.
In the scary video clip, some explanation is given. It seems the Orchid had been running tests on the creature. Maybe only now that Orchid's experiments have made what was once peaceful creatures into aggressive ones.
To me, that does not look like Bigfoot whatsoever. I don't know what kind of creature it is, but it is definitely not Bigfoot. I don't know, I always felt like Bigfoot resembled a really ginormous monkey. And I honestly don't really know what this resembles, but it definitely doesn't look like Bigfoot.
What happens in haunted places when we're not around? Published to YouTube by Amy's Crypt in April of 2021. This scary video reveals the answer. It was captured inside an empty haunted hallway that doesn't seem so empty after all. Revisiting a house that they'd investigated before, Amy's crypt returns to do another paranormal experiment. After rigging the house with several cameras, the crew left to see what would happen inside the house when they weren't there. One of the first things they capture occurs shortly into the video, as the camera pans around the rubble of what appears to be a living room with a fireplace. Several noises are heard, like something is being banged around. Shortly after, Amy asks the empty room, "Are there any children here?" An orb can be seen dancing across the bottom of the screen, and at the same time, tapping is heard. Later on in the video, a rattling is detected. Perhaps the sound came from the sheet of tin in the opposite room, which is leaning against the stone wall.
That right here would be enough for me to get the hell out of there. Even if there is like a piece of tin in the other room, something has to be moving it around for it to start making that sound. Because let me tell you, that rattling sounds extremely intentional. It doesn't really just sound like wind is moving it around or something like that. Amy girl, you better get the hell out of there. You are not alone in that house.
In that same room, minutes later, you can hear a loud noise. On the replay, something dark appears and disappears really quickly on the top of the doorway.
Shuggle. Shuggle. Shuggle.
While Amy's crypt is more captivated by the figure they captured with the Kinect, we're freaked out by the creepy demon-like face that appears above the fireplace. As they're listening back for a child's voice that they heard in one of the rooms, a cord that's hanging in the middle of the room moves. Is it windy in here? The child's voice sounds like it's saying come.
I mean, there's no going around that. That literally sounds like a child's voice. And you can very clearly see that the cord is moving. So unless it's genuinely windy in the house, I don't understand how that would be happening. It is an abandoned house, so there could be a draft somewhere. However, that still doesn't explain the really dark figure in the corner. Like, how the hell does that happen?
When the earth starts eating itself, you know it's the Last Supper. This event happened in the form of a sinkhole at Assumption Parish in Louisiana. The sinkhole was discovered in August of 2012 and caused upwards of 300 people in the area to be evacuated. It's believed to have been caused by petrochemical services company Texas Brine having accidentally collapsed a salt dome, creating an enormous opening underground. John Bordeaux caught this video of a slow-in, which is when the edge of the sinkhole can't hold up any longer and collapses in upon itself. In this instance, it swallowed up mile-high trees in the process. The salt domes located beneath many Louisiana bayous are deposits left over from the continent's formation. Some of these domes are as massive as Mount Everest, and some are situated up to 35,000 feet below the surface of the earth. The size and depth of the domes can create an enormous amount of pressure.
Can you imagine if someone was, for whatever reason, swimming there? They would literally be gone in an instant. If a tree can disappear that quickly into the ground, you can only imagine how powerful that was. And that sinkhole must have been pretty damn deep. He said some of them are as deep as Mount Everest. Does that not sound literally insane? And sinkholes can happen anywhere, not just in water. Sometimes a sinkhole will open in the middle of the road. Mother Nature back at it again.
Salt mining has occurred in these domes for centuries, and they've become crude oil reservoirs in the 20th century. In order not to collapse the domes, stability is maintained through special care in drilling and mining. However, this frightening incident shows that all the care in the world sometimes cannot prevent this from happening. Imagine being feet away from these giant trees being swallowed underground, never to be seen again. Would you stick around to watch? You may be next.
As interesting as it is to like watch what's happening, it can very well suck you in too. And if that happens, baby, you're gone. Like there is truly nothing that can save you because you are just getting sucked to the very bottom. That honestly sounds like a freaking nightmare. If I was anywhere near that, I am running as far as I can in the opposite direction. I am not taking any chances.
What you're about to see will give you nightmares. Published to YouTube by Exploring with Danny in May of 2021, this creepy footage is about to haunt the dark corners of your imagination. Danny writes, SCP-096 was first discovered by the SCP Foundation in its natural habitat near a mountain in an unknown place. The Foundation sent retrieval team Zulu 9-8 to capture the creature. Well, let's take a look at this terrifying creature. After wandering for a while in the darkness, Danny captures the creature he's after, crouched down in a bramble of branches. The figure is pale with a purple tint and seems to be watching the man who's searching for him. For some reason, it appears Danny did not see him. He continues on, breathing heavily and walking slowly, as if he did not just witness one of the creepiest things to ever appear on camera.
Honestly, looks kind of like a skinwalker type creature, and y'all know I am terrified of skinwalkers, especially just standing like that in the middle of the forest. I would actually pass out from fear. You can also tell that it has really abnormal proportions and super long and creepy fingers. It does not look human whatsoever. I'm honestly surprised that he didn't notice it. He must have been absolutely shook when he was looking back at the footage and saw that.
A short while after, Danny notices something lurking but does not have his camera on. He turns it on as he starts racing off to the house. After arriving there, he finds wet footprints on the floor. Someone or something has already been here, and recently. Inside the house does not feel much safer. Danny comes across a photograph with a strange figure in it, and later hears some sort of movement that makes him jerk around and call out,
Hello?
But it's here where things really shake up. It starts with the outline of a head peeking, and then some fingers, and then the creature is there in its entirety.
Hello?
Why he would decide to go into the house after seeing those footprints on the ground. Clearly someone is in there, and yet you still proceed to go inside. Doesn't really sound like a great idea.
Danny shoots off, but for some reason does not leave the premises. He stays for long enough to wander through what he calls some off Resident Evil.
This is creepy. This is like some off Resident Evil.
And then to happen upon this yet again.
Hello?
You hear it before you see it. The creature makes a kind of clicking noise that sets your spine a tingling. A roar, then its fingers, then its face.
Hello?
This is what nightmares are made of.
I will say that clicking noise is really scary. I don't know why, but it actually does give me full body chills. And also something about the way that creature is built really creeps me out. It's just extremely pale and abnormally long. I don't like it whatsoever.
When something looks like a tornado, it's probably a tornado. Posted to TikTok by Brett Dudek. Mother Nature wasn't doing magic tricks in this video. At first, Brett says that it's like a tornado outside, but then he realizes it isn't just like one, it is one, as Brett captures the wild winds that are so fast they rip up trees from the yard. He wonders if he should go downstairs.
Oh my, it isn't.
The winds pick up speed, throwing dirt and dust and rain across the window pane.
Yo, there's a breeze. No. way.
I'm sorry, there's a breeze? I would argue that it's a bit more than just a freaking breeze. It is a goddamn tornado. You, my friend, need to go to your basement as soon as possible. Don't just stand there recording it. Clearly, it's getting worse by the second.
TikToker Chris Clemens remarks, "Should I get downstairs, you ask, as an entire forest got flattened? Seriously, this dude is lucky he lived to TikTok this dangerous mess."
He is incredibly lucky because that looked really bad. But alright, you guys, we finally made it to the end of this video. This one was incredibly wild. We had so many natural disasters and also a ton of paranormal activity. I have to say, out of all of these videos, the mudslide was definitely the most scary for me. It was just insane to see it tearing through houses and the entire road. I cannot imagine experiencing something like that for myself, and I honestly hope I never do. Definitely let me know in the comments which clip scared you the most. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.